Ready. All right. You are looking at sold out MetLife Stadium where today the 16-0 and playoff bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 San Francisco 49ers. And why are the 49ers 0-16? Because they suck. Not really, but I like to say it anyway. Welcome to the Gridiron. Hey, Jersey guys in the house. Say, anybody at all is going to spend a little bit of time with me here this evening, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. If anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. That means so much to me. Thank you. I'm going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free. Fire away, throw in the chat box. I usually try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes. So I'll see something in there. Try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free, fire away. Plus, also, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, it's just nice to talk to just another Giant fan. So please feel free, fire away. Before I get started, real fast here, in the description box below, the top link in the description box takes you to my membership page. If you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. I have 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. Second one's called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third one's called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. I thank you in advance. Thank you. If you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live or I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge, right? What do you got to lose? But if you are subscribed, I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. And then finally, there's in the description box, there's I got links. One's for a Facebook group. I got a TikTok account I got going on. I got Twitter or X or whatever letter Elon Musk is going to call it this week. Maybe it's Q this week. Maybe it's S. I don't know. But I'm still going to call it Twitter till the day I die, no matter whatever he decides to call it. So I got some links in there. If I got the Facebook group. We had 6,300. Yeah, we're at 6,300 members in the group. It's growing strong. And usually I'm getting an extra couple hundred members every week in the Facebook group that I got. Said my Twitter account, and I put stuff in there every day. And the TikTok, I usually try to get a video or 2 in there every day on Giants football as well. So got some links there if you want to, check them out and sign up join the group and all that stuff. I had a Facebook page. It's been in review now for about over a month, so I have no idea if it's ever going to get reviewed or not. Something's wrong with it. And, of course, you can't pick the phone up and talk to anybody about what's wrong with my Facebook page. It's about the Giants. So it's been in review for like 5 or 6 weeks now, so I have no idea if they're ever going to review it. So Zuckerberg or whatever his name is, who owns Facebook, has no problem making money off of Facebook, but you can't pick a phone up and talk to anybody and find out what's wrong with your page, or you can't get no answers, or they'll just give you an article. Here, this is what's wrong with your page. It doesn't tell me what's wrong with me. So it is what it is. So with all that stuff said and done out of the way with, well, man, we got a lot to talk about here today. A lot to talk about. Well, I'll tell you what we got. What about Daboll taking over play call from? Yeah, he's saying he wasn't. He said he wasn't. I don't know. I mean, he said he was trying to communicate with Kafka, but then sometimes you're looking at Kafka up there. It's like Kafka seems like he's sitting there. So I don't know. Actually, Patty Trainer, she was talking about she thinks that maybe Daboll might have been like talking to Kafka, maybe suggesting plays or whatever, or something like that. So it'd be interesting because also they asked Daniel Jones after the game was over, and then somebody, because they always do this, reporters always do this. They always go to Daboll and they ask him a question, and if they're not sure about it or something, they'll go ask somebody else. Right, and they'll see if there's a controversy there or something. Like if Daboll says, "No, Mike's calling the plays," and then they go to Daniel Jones. So who's calling the plays? Right? And I'm getting it from Daboll, right? And then there's a controversy. Then there's a problem. So that's what the media tries to do. But when they asked Daniel Jones after the game was over, he said, "No, I'm getting it from Kafka." So who knows? I mean, it sure looked like he was going to place. I mean, he's covering his face up because he doesn't want anybody, but to obviously read his lips. So you don't know if he was, maybe talking to Kafka or if he was talking to Daniel or exactly what. But it's Dave's show. Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh wow, yeah. I mean, there was a video out there too that you saw. He was barking at Wink. I don't know what play it was or what series it was or what happened on the field, but I mean, the defense just was obviously absolutely unbelievably pathetic. The first, I think, 6 drives, right? Because they scored 3 touchdowns, 2 field goals, and they missed it. The first 6 drives, the Cardinals just walking up and down the field. So somewhere along the line, there was a video that I saw. It was Dave's. He was like behind. He said he was like, he yelled something, and like he was right by Wink. So the article said like Dave's was like, cursing at Wink or whatever it was, something. He wasn't very happy. Understandably so. Parcells used to terrify Charlie. Oh, little Charlie Weiss. Yeah. Whoops. But I highly doubt it, especially if he, once again, I think this Dave will maybe trying to, what would you say? Play with the media. Seems like he likes to do that. I would probably do the same thing too if I was him. Play with the media. Because he wasn't ruling out that Saquon wouldn't be ready for Thursday night's game against the 49ers. I can't. The way it got rolled up on and he needed help off the field and all that stuff. I mean, you can put all the ice on it you want, and this, that, and I don't think he's playing. And if he does, he's probably just going to make it worse. Instead of maybe coming back after, not even maybe missing one game, and then he'll wind up probably missing a month. Because something will probably happen to while he's trying to sell. I mean, I think he was probably just wind up playing with the media. As I said, I probably would too. Because I mean, their questions get pretty annoying. So I said, the Giants head coach Brian Daboll pushed back at reports that running back Saquon Barkley will miss Thursday night's game during Tuesday's press conference, and said Barkley is feeling better. Oh, but there's no change in his status on the team's injury report. Yeah, I can't see him possibly playing. The thing is that they were talking about, it's a basic, just like a sprain. So they were kind of saying might miss like 3, might take 3 weeks. Well, I mean, so he would miss maybe 2 games because we got the Thursday and then we got like 10, 11 days off before we wind up playing the Seahawks, right? So then we got, after that, then we got the Dolphins on October 8th. So you figure September 17th, there's 13 more days in that month. And then you figure October 8th that's 21 days. That's 3 weeks. So maybe we can get him back in time for the Dolphins. I mean, we certainly could use all hands on deck against the Dolphins. It's not the new name Dolphin defense from the early 70s, but they got the offense. So, I mean, the Giants could use all the help they can get on the offensive front, especially when they're, they got to score some freaking points. Oh, sorry, buddy. My buddy Randy's here. All right. Then we got Barkley's listed as non-participant for the second straight day. Barkley injured his ankle against Arizona. No kidding. Left tackle Andrew Thomas' status is also unchanged, unfortunately. He missed the Cardinals game with a hamstring injury and is listed as limited practice participant. And, of course, Ben Bredesen, there's no way he's playing with his concussion. I can humanly possibly see how he's going to get a concussion on Sunday and be able to play on Thursday, especially the way he was like woozy and all that stuff, walking off the field. He tried to stand up. I think he fell back down again. He was all woozy and everything. Can't possibly see him playing Thursday. Then Micah McFadden with a neck, Azeez Ojulari with a hamstring, and wide receiver, of course, Wan'Dale Robinson. They're just bringing him back. Now, I'm saying that the weird thing is that he could start on PUP, and he'd have to miss 4 games. So they have to bring him back they could bring him back for the 5th game, right? Which would be against the Seahawks, right? Is it Seahawks? My bad, the Bills. I'm talking the Seahawks, the Bills. That would be the 5th game, would be the Bills. Now, I mean, why would you take him off of PUP, right? If you know, so they must have visions of bringing him back before the fourth game or by the fourth game, right? Which either be against the Seahawks or against the Dolphins. So, I mean, say if he doesn't play this week, this would be the third game. So then you figure, I mean, it would make sense he'd have to be back by the time by the Seahawks. Well, he doesn't have to, but because the Monday night Seahawks game would be the fourth game. So they had to have vision, seeing just the way he was and all of that, to take him off a pup. They had to have visions of bringing him back by the fourth game. So if he doesn't play this week, I'd be sort of shocked if he didn't play on the Monday night game, especially it's another 11 days off. So we'll have to wait and see. Then I saw this. This was interesting too. I saw this. This is from, I like these guys. They dig this stuff up here. It said the 12 personnel. Good old Dan Dugan. Giants used 12 personnel on only 2 plays in the first half. They went 1 for passing and had 1 carry for 2 yards. So basically they gained 8 yards on the 12 personnel. So I guess they had Waller and Bellinger on the field at the same time. However, Giants used the 12 personnel on 11 plays in the second half. They went 6 out of 7 passing for 160 yards. And they had 4 carries for another 29. So basically their carries, they averaged over 7 yards a carry. I'm sure it probably was Daniel Jones running. But 6 out of 7. So basically they had 189 yards off of the 12 personnel on 11 plays. They found a real groove running play action, which is huge. Because especially, I think they've been brought up on the broadcast, what you're trying to do, obviously, because now you got Bellinger, right? Probably on the line, right? Next to one of the tackles. So now you got at least 6 guys, right, on the offensive line. You got Saquon, because Saquon played every play but 2. So Saquon's in the backfield. So the defense is like looking, okay, they got 6 blockers and they got Saquon. So the big thing here, Daniel Jones gets it, right? You don't want to get in a shotgun. Or I guess if you're in a shotgun, you can, I guess, maybe fake it that. But if he gets a snap under center, if he does, right? Turn around and fake it to Saquon. And I think they even brought this point up in the broadcast. Fake it to Saquon. Freeze the linebackers just for that set. That's all. That's not all you need. The other things got to go right. But, you get that split second where the linebackers freeze. And as they're freezing, looking at Daniel Jones, right, you got to be good at the Boomer Esiason was very good at that. He really took that fake to all out. He made it look good. He would, some guys kind of like throw their hand out there, like we're gonna play action here. I'm going to hand the ball. I've seen quarterbacks do that. They put their hand out. There's no football in their hand, and they're pretending to hand the ball off to the running back. The running back's got to sell it too. Like it has to look identical. Everything's got to look identical. As he's handing the ball to, you got to go in there like you're going to get it like it's a regular play. They got to look at it and go, oh, crap, is he handing it off? Oh, no, he's not. Okay, That's what you got to make it look identical to a handoff or a fake. It's got to be identical. But that split second, they're holding like this. What do? Leaves maybe in the middle of the field open for Waller to get behind the, maybe the linebackers. Or we can get somebody deep, maybe get behind, the linebackers, by the second level. So they really used the 12 personnel. In the second half, they found real groove running play action out of 12 personnel. In the second half, they had completions of the 58, 29, 25, and 31 yards on play action passes from the 12 personnel in the second half. So those are 4 big-time plays right there, something the Giants had like none of last year. 4, a 58, 29, 25, and a 31. And then somebody asked a question, was Hyatt on the field for all 4 or just 2 that he caught? And then Dan Dugan said he was on. So there's those 4 big completions, the 58, the 29, the 25, and the 31-yard receptions. Hyatt was on the field for 3 out of those 4. Right, obviously he caught 2 of them. He caught the 58 and the 29-yarder. 58, 58-29, I think it was. Wait, maybe it was the 58-31 he was, because he had 89 receiving yards. So he might have been, he caught the 58-31, but the 29, Slayton caught one, right? So he was on the field for 3 out of the 4. And then Nick Filato here says the Giants used Slayton and Hyatt in the 12 personnel, with Slayton motioning away from the double Y set to stack behind Hyatt. So he motioned away. I guess he got one. I don't remember what plays he's talking about, but he went in motion. He wound up going behind Hyatt. So now you got like 2 freaking speedsters on the one side over there. So let's hopefully maybe, it says Giants took advantage of the 2 fastest wide receivers to the weak side, and Hyatt opened up space for Slayton both times. I mean, that's huge. Absolutely. Hopefully, obviously the, it's not going to be news for long, because obviously the 49, all these other teams are going to see what the Giants are doing. But I mean, if you got the 2 guys, right, and Hyatt just takes off or does whatever pattern he's running, clears some space out for Slayton underneath. So hopefully the Giants maybe, they had some success with the 12 personnel. Hopefully they keep using it, because 12 personnel, you can run. Well, I mean, you can run or pass out of anything. But I mean, it gives you a little bit of better of illusion of having, when Bellinger's on the field, and Waller, possibly running the ball. Now, obviously, it's maybe not ideal, because, I mean, obviously, you like to have Slayton out there, you like to have Hyatt out there, you like to have Waller out there, maybe Paris Campbell or somebody like that. Maybe instead of Bellinger, maybe have some. Had the freak with Waller, and then you got 3 real speedsters out there. But at least with Bellinger, it opens up the pass and the run. And Bellinger's a very good receiver. He's just not, he's not Kellen Winslow or Tony Gonzalez or nothing. He's not this the Skittle man or but he's a very good receiver. Let's see what the heck else here. Let's see. All right. Whoops. Okay. Now, this was kind of like the the defense. Where's the D? Or is it used to saying that? I guess was that the Wendy's commercial, whatever it was. Where's the beef? I mean, some of these stats, my goodness. I mean, the Giants, their defense, jeez. And it's just a small sample size. I get it. I understand. And, it is what it is. And, all that stuff and everything. But, man, I mean, you look at, once again, it's just 2 games. I get it. You got 15 more to go. But let's see. What do we got? Takeaways. Cowboys have 7. Once again, what do the Cowboys do? They're very opportunistic, right? Let's see, the Giants 1, 2. There's 4 teams that have no takeaways. Of course, the Giants are one of them. The Bears, the Raiders, the Rams, and the Giants all have no takeaways. It's just 2 games. Once again, not the end of the world. But last year where we had, I think during the regular season where we had 5 or 6 interceptions as a team. I mean, it's obviously, once again, it's hard to play press man, have your back to the quarterback all the time. And, the quarterback throws the ball and you have no idea, where it's going or when it's coming or what, you're supposed to turn around and, it's very difficult. I get that, but still. Let's see here. Of course, the sacks. I mean, let me see where. Is it the team defense? Oh, here, this one I've seen. Where's the sacks? There you go. Of course, now that the one big problem is that, of course, in our division, of course, now we got the Commanders and the Cowboys lead the NFL in sacks. Each team has 10, and the Giants are the only team in the NFL with no sacks. Not one freaking sack. Not one freaking turnover. I mean, the Bears ain't much better. The Bears have 1 sack and no turnovers. The Rams have 3 sacks and no turnover. But, I mean, the Giants, no sack. Oh, once again, it's only 2 games. I get that. Let's see, pressure percentage. I know we were pretty bad here. I think we were. Let's see. No, guess where the heck are we? Yeah, like middle of the pack, 19.3%. But meanwhile, see, this goes to show you, right? the Eagles and the Cowboys pressure percentage. The Cowboys are 33.3%. So 1/3 of every time another quarterback drops back to pass, the Cowboys got pressure. The Eagles 31.7. So the Eagles and as of right now, the top two teams right now after 2 games lead the NFL, the Cowboys and Eagles. But the problem is, all right, the third team, once again, it's only after 2 games, very short sample size. I get it. But the problem is the third team with the highest percentage pressure rate is ding, 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 San Francisco 49ers. There you go, right? And right, we're playing them this Thursday, aren't we? Yeah, so. Oh, let's see here. Missed tackles. I know we missed a bunch of tackles, too. Yeah, the Giants are up there with missed tackles. We missed 18. The Seahawks are the worst, but, unlike other teams like the Saints, after 2 games, once again, they missed 3 tackles. The Browns missed 3 tackles. The Broncos missed 4. The Titans missed 6. Steelers only missed 7. We missed 18 tackles. See, quarterback knockdowns. Oh, well, actually, we're pretty good there. We got 9, so that's good. We're up toward the top as far as quarterback knockdowns. But let's see, hurries. Let's see, where the Giants have hurries here. Giants got 2 hurries. According to Pro Football Reference, that's all I'm going by. I haven't watched film. I'm not charting this stuff and everything. That's all I'm going by is this. So the Giants are basically tied for 30. There's 2 teams. Actually, the Browns and the Saints don't have any hurries at all. The Giants have 2, according to this. The 49ers have 21 hurries. How many sacks they got? They have 6 sacks. They got 21 hurries. They got 7 quarterback knockdowns. So, so we're we're going into a nasty defense, that's for sure. Blitzing percentage, the Vikings, 49.3%. That's probably to make up the fact that their defense stinks. And it said here, the Giants blitzing 42.1% of the time. We're the 4th highest. Obviously, that's no shocker there. But, we blitzing 42% of the time. We have no sacks, and we have 2 quarterback hurries. We've knocked the quarterback down 9 times now. But, my goodness. Where is the freaking defense? And then, of course, not to mention the fact that, it's okay. Here we go. All right, let's check out the run defense. Here we go. Yards per average. Where are we at here? Giants are the 8th worst at 4.6. Once again, it's early. These things could change. But, this run defense that we were supposed to hopefully kind of short up a little bit didn't look very short up against the Cowboys or the Cardinals. Yards per game. Wow. Steelers, 193 yards a game. The Bengals, 192. Woo. Those I'm sure those numbers will drop quite a bit. But the Giants at 136.5 yards per game. We're 7th worst in the NFL. Let's see here. I know we got we're kicking against, punting against, scoring. There we go. Scoring defense. There we go. Points per game. The Cowboys are number 1, have given up 5 points per game. The Giants, we're the absolute worst. We've given up 30. Once again, this is going to come down. I get it. But we're 34 points per game. We're number 1. We're the worst team. The Cowboys in our division giving up 5 points a game. We're giving up 34. Oh, let's see. Passing defense. Because we have no interceptions. Passes defense. What do we got here? The Cowboys, the Cowboys, their defense is just crazy. They're number 1 so far. They have 15 passes defensed in 2 games. Let's see where the Giants are at. The Giants we're number 27th. We have 6 passes defensed in 2 games. Completion percentage. Let's see where the Giants at here. The Raiders. Wow, the Raiders giving up 81.7% completion percentage. No, the Giants aren't bad. The Giants are at 60.7, so that's not too bad. Not too bad at all. Let's see here. Team advanced. Just has anybody seen, like Leonard Williams? Is any? I think he got a couple hurries in there against the Cardinals, but I mean, has he made a tackle at all this year? I know Carl Banks was sticking up for Kayvon Thibodeau. He kind of seems like, everybody wants him to go in there and, have 8 sacks already this season. Of course, that's not going to happen. And, but Carl Banks seems to think that what the Giants, because he breaks the film down. He's one of the greatest outside linebackers, maybe not the greatest, but the man could set an edge. Let me frickin' tell you what. The man knows what he's talking about, especially on defense. And he was bringing up about like what they're asking Kayvon Thibodeau to do. And it's kind of like, this is one of the reasons why he's not getting like all these sacks and hits and pressures and all these sexy numbers and everything like that. But, I mean, it's like Leonard Williams. I mean, and I think Patty Traynor was bringing this up. This is why one of the reasons why they don't want to touch Leonard Williams' contract. They don't want to kick any. Because he's owed some dead money next year, too. But I think that's from like Gettleman, maybe. But the reason why he's owed like over $30 million is because of Gettleman. But I think that's why they may not want to be touching his contract this year, because they just want to maybe just kind of after this season kind of wipe their hands with it. Maybe they might make him an offer maybe next year. But I mean, I can't see it being any, I mean, it ain't no $20 million. I mean, we'll have to see. I mean, somebody's going to want him. Obviously, I'm sure the Giants might want him back, but I mean, they could offer him, I'm sure, nowhere near what he wants. So I'm sure that's why the Giants don't want to touch his contract. They just want to, But I mean, so far as Sexy Dexy, has put up a bunch of numbers, but he's also been taking on obviously a lot of double teams. Pro Football Focus, they graded him rather highly both games. So he's doing, he's doing a good job. But I get it and all this stuff, but somewhere along the line, it's only 2 games. I get it. But somewhere along the line, you got pick number 5. You got pick number 17. Where was Leonard Williams? 6, 4, 5? I mean, but between like what Dexter Lawrence is getting paid, $23 million, and this year, Leonard Williams is like 32. So you got like, a lot of money for those 2 guys. Somebody's got to step up. Somebody, once again. But, we got playing the 49ers this week. We need some guys to put some big boy pants on, because, between Ayuk and Deebo Samuel and the Skittle Man and McCaffrey, I mean, one more time. I mean, oh man, it's going to be quite challenging. And there's a bunch of these storylines I see here. What we got here? Storylines, some storylines here. 4 storylines ahead of this is what? Giants country. This is life without Saquon. Yep. I mean, Breeders, does a capable job, but nobody can quite do what Saquon does. But, with Breeders in there, he's very capable. The offensive line, oh my goodness. That's a big storyline. The good news is last week the Giants revamped the offensive line. But that was against the Cardinals. What's it going to do against the 49ers? Now we're going to have Azudo at left tackle, right? We're going to have Glowinski at left guard. Michael Schmitz at center. Is McKeithen going to stay at right guard? And is Evan, I guess, be the right tackle? Because, Bredesen can't go. And of course, obviously, that's, of course, if Andrew Thomas can't go as well, too. It says right guard Marcus McKeithen and right tackle Evan Neal played much better than the version on the field for week 1 debacle against the Cowboys. But once again, they were going up against the Cowboys. Cowboys and the Cardinals, a little different animal there. For Pro Football Focus, the Giants O-line, which ranked dead last after week 1, rose to number 27. There you go. In pass blocking efficiency rating. However, the Giants are still in the top 5 in total pressures allowed, tied for second most with 35 with New England. 35 effing pressures in 2 games. Oh, my God. But then again, no one is mistaking the Arizona Cardinals for the Cowboys defense, just as as no one will be confusing the Cardinals defense with the one the Giants will see on Thursday night. That's right. Because you got Bosa, right? Oh, I said, okay. So Bosa's going to be licking his chops. As granted, Dick Bosa has yet to record a sack, but you know his get-right game is coming. And if he's going up against Evan Neal, it could be a get-right game for Nick Bosa. So if Daniel Jones and company are told to have any chance of keeping this competitive, that offensive line, whatever version it happens to be, better be ready to step up. You got that right. Another one is stopping Christian McCaffrey. McCaffrey currently leads the NFL in rushing yards. He has 268 rushing yards after 2 games. Holy crap. And is always the threat with the ball in his hands has been since entering the league. And obviously, let's not forget, he's a fantastic pass receiver as well, too. That's not good for the Giants' run defense, which after struggling last year is coming in 27th, is off to another slow start. New York has allowed opponents 136.5 rushing yards per game, which is 26th, and 4.63 yards per rushing attempt, which is 25th. This after upgrading the run defense in the offseason. Last week, they were gashed on the ground by the Cardinals, in particular running back James Conner, 106 yards on 23 carries, as Arizona finished with 151 yards on 29 attempts and 2 rushing touchdowns. Then again, if stopping the run is one of the recipes for success in winning games in the NFL, the Giants better figure out how to do a better job of that. But also, their front 7 already has missed 6 tackles against the run. Led by inside linebacker Micah McFadden, he had 3. He had a rough game against the Cardinals. Micah McFadden, he graded out very, very bad. The defensive lineman Dexter Lawrence and Bobby Okereke have helped the run defense. However, still, when the team's leading tackler is a member of the defensive secondary, like Jason Pinnock was with 13 tackles, that's not good. Then, of course, this is my one thing here. It says the one thing the Giants, and it's in the storyline right here. So I'll do like a twofer here. I got my on the thumbnail said the one thing the Giants have to do in this game. The one thing they have to do, and I don't mean catch a pass. I don't mean one thing they have to do, start faster, right? And, of course, we were saying that all last year. We're saying it. You can't, we're down 28-7 to the 49ers. We got it right where we wanted that, baby. We came back from the Cardinals. We'll just do it again. No, you're not. No, you're not. That's 1949, so was that 51, 61, 71, 74 seasons ago? That was the last time you did it, so you're not doing it again, right? Faster starts on offense, and I'll tell you what, the 49ers have no problem starting fast. I got them pulled up here. Here we go. I mean, they don't have a problem starting off fast. Let's see, there are 2 games here. It's the Pittsburgh Steelers. Let's see, how fast did they start? They scored 20 points in the first half against the Steelers. They won that 130-7. All right, so they 20 points in the first half. Meanwhile, the Giants haven't scored a point at all in the first half in 2 games. And against the Rams, let's see where they score. They scored 17 points. So the 49ers have scored. Actually, the 49ers have scored in every quarter so far. They've scored all 4 quarters against the Steelers and all 4 quarters against the Rams. So the 49ers score. They're not like a second half team. They're not like a start slow. We'll get them in the second quarter team. No, they score in every quarter. So they've scored 37 points so far in 2 games in the first half. 37. Giants haven't scored a point yet. Giants have to. Have to. Excuse me. Start faster. Another disturbing trend the Giants have continued from last year is their slow start to the game. After being outscored in the first half of games last season, 181-151, which includes a 77-39 difference in the first quarter. They were outscored. They were basically doubled in the first quarter. They were outscored 77-39 in the first quarter last year. The Giants have been outscored 46-0 through 2 games this season in the first half. 46-0. Was it 26-0 and 20-0? A football game is 60 minutes, and every single one of those minutes is precious. One of the biggest culprits in the slow starts has been the inability to get the offense into a rhythm. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You go 3 and out and 3 and out. What kind of, 4 plays and then you got a punt. What kind of rhythm are you going to get into? None. The only rhythm you get into is knowing how to run off the field when it's fourth down. Yeah, you get very comfortable at that, right? That has to change, as does the elimination of costly drive-killing penalties. Of the Giants' 3 penalties on offense logged in the first 30 minutes of play, 2 have directly led to a stalled drive. So, the Giants, they have to change that up. Big time. Let's see here. And we got some more storylines here. This one's from, what do we got there? Big Blue View. Here we go. They got life without Saquon. Those terrible starts. They do the same thing here. The terrible starts. Yep. Then they have defensive issues. The Giants have played 8 quarters of football defensively. They have played 7 poor quarters and 1 good one. Yeah, because let's not forget, excuse me, the Cardinals, right? The first 6 drives the Cardinals had were all scoring drives or scoring opportunities. Remember, they missed a field goal, right? The first drive, they wound up missing a field goal. The guy, missed maybe about a yard or so. It was a far field goal, but they had a chance. Then, of course, in the next 5 drives, they scored 3 touchdowns and 2 field goals. So basically, the first 6 drives, Giants, they were just walking up and down the field on the Giants. They made them look like the greatest show on turf. But then, thankfully, the defense finally, stepped up. I'm not exactly sure, what happened, but the last few drives, I think the final 3 drives, they got them the punt, and then the final one was the end of the game. So, but the defense is, jeez. What we got here? After 2 weeks, the Giants are last in the league in points allowed with 68. They don't have a quarterback sack, as I went over earlier. They have yet to force a turnover. They are 26th in the league in rushing yards allowed per game, 136.5. They are 25th in yards allowed per rushing attempt. Teams have run the ball 51.3% of the time against the Giants, with only 3 teams being run on more often. The Giants missed 12 tackles Sunday against the Cardinals. 12. That is freaking pathetic. Per Pro Football Focus. While the pass coverage hasn't been horrendous per most metrics, the Giants are 28th in the league in yards allowed per completion, 10.9 yards per completion. Wow. So basically every time there's a completion, it's a first down. The run defense, holy cow. The Giants were 31st in the league last season, giving up 5.2 yards per rushing attempt. They signed Bobby Okereke and veteran backup tackle Nacho and A'Shawn Robinson in free agency to address that issue. Thus far, to minimal impact. To be fair, Nunez-Roches and Robinson battled injuries in training camp, did not practice consistently, which, no, they did not, and played little in preseason. Absolutely. To his credit, Nunez-Roches is 10th among interior defensive linemen in ESPN's run-stop-win rate stat at 40%. Okay, that's a positive. We'll take that. Based on their careers, both should get better as the season progresses. Okereke was a force late in the game against Arizona, but he has missed 5 tackles over 2 games. That is horrible. That has got to change. My God, that would be what? 5? That'd be what? 40 tackles? Over 40 tackles he would miss on a season? Wow. Ooh, if he keeps that rate up. The Giants need him to be the player he was down the stretch versus the Cardinals. Micah McFadden missed 4 tackles against the Cardinals. Yeah, bad game. He was in position to make plays. He just didn't make them. Veteran edge defender Jihad Ward is a team worst 32.8 grade in 36 run defensive snaps. Arizona took advantage of Ward for several long runs to his side Sunday. As I mentioned this in my video, I think it was last night. There was one of the plays, I'm looking at it, and Dobbs turns around. I think Connor was in the game, and he's got the ball, right, and And so he's turning around, making it look like it's a good going to be a handoff, and Hottie's just comes crashing down the line of scrimmage. He's saying it's got to be a handoff. I mean, it's got to be. So I'm going to make the tackle in the backfield. Here we go, baby. Big play, big play. So he runs straight down the line of scrimmage. Dobbs just pulls the ball out, runs around where Hottie was supposed to be, and picked up like 10, 15 yards on a run. Absolutely freaking pathetic. Set the freaking edge. Holy cow. Let's see here. Arizona took advantage of Ward for several long runs to his side. Even Leonard Williams, whose 52.4 PFF run grade is 14 points lower than his 2022 career worst, has yet to make an impact. And this is a for Leonard Williams, this is a contract year too. I mean, you think the guy would want to be like gangbusters out there, right? I mean, I want another $20 million for a couple of years, right? Once again, it's only 2 games. Got a long season to go. Let's see, pass rush. The Giants have no sacks and just 13 quarterback hurries in 2 games. Awful Kayvon Thibodeau has been invisible thus far. Azeez Ojulari is hurt. Leonard Williams is off to a sluggish start. Isaiah Simmons has rushed the passer just 9 times in 2 games. Yeah, I'm kind of low. I don't know. I'm like with Isaiah Simmons. I mean, it's like he played 13 snaps one game, 12 snaps another game or so. So I'm kind of shocked that he's not on the field a little bit more. But I mean, especially to rush the quarterback. But maybe as the weeks go by, maybe he gets more and more comfortable or familiar with the defense. Maybe they'll be on the field a little bit more. Who knows? Let's see. Oh, here we go. On the Believe in Giants podcast, which I listened to today with Bob Papa and Carl Banks, it's a good one. It's only like 20 minutes long. That's why I like. They come in, they talk. They're not like morons like me. I talk for an hour, right? They come in, they hit the high points, and they get out of there. It was like 20 minutes long. And of course, most of it's Carl Banks talking, so he's just full of knowledge. I mean, it's great listening to that guy. Carl Banks addressed the pass rush by saying that opportunity has been a major issue. Dak Prescott threw just 24 times in week 1, and only 8 of those were 10 yards or more down the field. In week 2, Josh Dobbs of the Cardinals threw 10-plus yards down the field only 12 times. So they're getting the ball out fast. That's what Carl Banks was saying, right? You drop back, right? I mean, you get the ball out fast enough, nobody's sacking you. I don't care. The other team can have 11 Micah Parsons, and they can have all of them can be all blitzing at one time. You get the ball out fast enough, nobody's sacking you, right? So to Carl Banks' point, and is a good one, is that the subpar run defense is not allowing the Giants to rush the passer in full force, which is true. It's true. In his view, pass rushers are at times not using their full arsenals, rather just bull rushing because they are playing the run first. Remember, only 3 teams have been run on at a higher percentage than the Giants. Defensive coordinator Wink Martindale has dialed up the blitz only 14.3% of the time thus far, after doing so a league-leading 39.7% of the time a season ago. The Giants are 18th in the league in pressure percentage at 19.3%. That's not horrible, but they haven't had enough opportunities. That said, Thibodeau needs to be more impactful. There is truth to the idea that the edge defenders under Martindale don't always compile huge numbers, which they don't. He's never had a double-digit sack guy. Never. Matthew Judon and Zadarius Smith are examples of edge defenders who have had more success statistically away from Martindale than playing for him. Still, Thibodeau's 2.6% win rate and 43 pass rush attempts is not good enough. 2.6% win rate. That is freaking pathetic. In addition to Thibodeau, Ojulari needs to get and stay healthy. I don't know if that's ever going to happen. Simmons needs to get more involved in the pass rush. Let's hope so. Williams needs to be better, and the Giants need to defend the run well enough to allow Martindale to dial up the pressure more often, which is true. I mean, one helps the other. I mean, one definitely helps the other, without question. So then I saw this. This is pretty funny. This is this is funny. This is something I never knew about the miracle at the Meadowlands, right? Do you think that there's going to be transitional phase that Wicks D is going through considering? Well, I mean, that's possible too. I mean, because you look, I mean, right? Because last year we had J Love with special sauce and Xavier McKinney, right? Now we have Pinnock back there, okay? And Julian Love, I mean, it was 4 years he was there. I mean, Joe Judge called him duct tape because you could put that freaking guy anywhere. He wasn't going to give you a Hall of Fame performance, but smart and from Notre Dame, intelligent, good, solid player. You know, but you could put the guy anywhere, right? So I mean, now you have Pinnock instead of Julian Love, but you still got McKinney. But now you got Dante Banks, right, and Trey Hawkins the third, right? As I pretty much, I guess, as your wide cornerbacks, and Adoree Jackson is playing slot. So now he's playing it different. So you got three. You know, I don't want to say they're all different because I mean Adoree Jackson, but he's playing a different position. So you got two guys playing cornerbacks who are rookies, you know, and maybe he's trying to protect against them as far as maybe getting burnt, maybe, you know, because if you want to live and die with a rookie, make it where it's a 10-yard curl route in front of you, whatever you want to call it. Let's not get burnt deep. Let's not give them 6 on a 75-yard pass play, right? Let's make them dink and dunk their way down the field, right? So I mean, if you look like that, you got Adoree Jackson's out of position, if you want to call it that, right? 2 rookie cornerbacks, new safety, new inside linebacker, right? And of course, now we got Azeez is injured, so we got Hottie or Boogie Basham's, new to the system. Carrick, the inside linebacker. Of course, we got Leonard Williams and Dexter Lawrence. Then of course, we got Nunez Roches and A'Shawn Robinson. They're brand new too. They're going to get quite a few snaps as well too. So, it might be quite possible too. Sure, especially in the back. You know, got a lot of guys. I mean, if you got McCain might be back there. You know, he hasn't played with the Giants. He wasn't here with the Giants last year. So. That's possible. Once again, it's only 2 games. You know, and it's a lot like the offensive line. The more they get to play together, but they have to be together. You know, can't be. Andrew Thomas is out. Okay, let's bring Zudu in. Okay, then they play 1 week with this, and then Bredesen gets injured, and then we put Lemieux in here. Right. So then you got Zudu and Lemieux and Michael Schmitz, and then. McKeith and Neal, and then Thomas comes back, right? So now Zudu's out, and you got Thomas over here, and you got Thomas and Lemieux, and it helps to have the same guys play over and over, and that really helps them out. Could be, as I say, certainly be the same thing with the secondary. Same thing with Simmons, right? Because you're trying to find a role for him. Obviously, you don't want him to rush the quarterback, but the same thing is, it might hurt too if every time he's on the field. Oh, what's Azeez Simmons on the field? Wonder what he's going to do. He rushed the quarterback the other 8 times he was on the field, right? So. But I've seen Isaiah rush. I've seen him in the back. I've seen him out coverage as well too. I saw it was one of the plays toward the end of the game. He pushed a guy out of bounds. I think it was on 3rd down. I think he stopped somebody from making a first down. I think pushed him out of bounds or whatever it was. So so we got some new moving parts. It might take them time, but as I said, it's the same thing. Is that we got 2 rookie cornerbacks. I mean, that's even though they might be doing good or whatever. I mean, that's so. I mean, that's possible. That's possible. But as I said, we'll just have to wait and see. The problem is that we're playing. I mean. We're playing the Cowboys, right? Then we got the 49ers. The Seahawks have scored some points. The first game, they only gave up they only scored 13. They got shut out in the second half against the Rams. But last week against the Lions, they were moving up and down the field. But also against the Rams, Lockett got injured. I think he came out. I don't think he went back in the game. But last week against the Lions, Lockett was there, and Jigba was there. Metcalf was there. So they were walking up and down the field. They won in overtime. Of course, as we got the Seahawks, we got the Bills, we got the Dolphins, we played the Cowboys, we got the 49ers. I mean, it's like, not playing a real good offense. Well, we just had should have had a little bit of a break when we played the Cardinals. But for some reason, the first 3 quarters of that game, we made them look like the greatest show on turf. So once again, it's early in the season. It could be a long season. And I said, remember that 2007, we had all those guys on defense, and those two games, the first 2 games against the Cowboys and the Packers, we gave up 80 points, 45 and 35. And then at halftime of the third game, we gave up 17 points. So in 2.5 games, that defense from 2007 gave up 97 points. And then they had that goal line stand, and things just started turning around and gelling. And of course, the rest is history, as they say, right? So it's early, but I mean, 2 games, no sacks, no turnovers, Oh man, then I saw this. What was this here? Oh yeah, Paisley Reese. Remember him from the Giants? Yeah, I never heard of this here before. He said that they had a fight in the locker room after the game was over. I mean understandably so. I mean, the defense, it was 17-12. The defense is putting their life on this, that, and the other thing that, they only gave up 12 points all game against the Eagles. And Joe Pisarcik winds up bopping the handoff. And of course, Herm Edwards picks it up, and the rest is history. But interesting. I never knew. And from Beasley Reese, this is interesting. So the miracle in Meadowlands happened nearly 45 years ago, 1978, right? Almost 45 years ago. It was played what? It was told. It's December, I guess it was. Does it say? Oh, my bad. November. So not quite 45 years ago to the day. The Giants were hosting the Eagles on November 19th, 1978, leading 17-12 with 31 seconds left and needing only to kneel on the ball to secure a win. When quarterback Joe Pisarcik botched a handoff to running back Larry Zonka, and it was scooped up and returned for a touchdown by Herm Edwards. Right? Beasley Reese, who played defensive back on the Giants from 77 to 83, joined the Crossing broadcast. I'm not sure what that is, and explained the recollections from the day, which included a locker room brawl. I mean, I said, actually the Giants were in the midst of losing a bunch of games in a row to the Eagles. The Giants hadn't beaten this was 1978. The Giants hadn't beaten the Eagles at home since 1970. So we're going to, this is the 8th season in a row that the Giants from 1971 to 1978 with this loss, the Giants lost the 8th time in a row. The Giants lost to the Eagles at home, not on the road, at home. And they had the lead with 30 seconds to go, 17-12, and Joe Pisarcik blows a handoff. First, Reese explained that the play call from the coaching staff was a running play, and that Pisarcik and novice quarterback wanted to go along with it even after the veteran, Larry Zonka, was adamant that they should just kneel on the ball. Beasley Reese was saying, said something like, Larry Zonka said, just kneel on the ball. And Pisarcik Beasley Reese was saying, it said like Pisarcik was a starting quarterback and they told him to do this. So he didn't want to go against their wishes. But the offensive coordinator called the play was Bob Gibson, and he got fired. He never coached ever again at any length, any period, any place, any day, anything, nowhere. He never even coached for the Girl Scout team ever again. Absolutely nothing. And he doesn't even like talking about he's probably dead by now, unfortunately, but I don't even think he even talks about this play anymore. He got, I think that the next day he got fired and he never coached ever again. But Larry Zonka, Beasley Reese said, Larry Zonka was like, just fall on the ball. Well, the problem is that what the thing was, what Bob Gibson was kind of saying, right, was that the play or so before that was Pisarcik kneeled on the ball. He's down on the ball, right? The play's over and all that. But the Eagles, of course, which was legal back then, would come crashing in, like he's on the ground, the plays, but the Eagles would come crashing in, like, not punching, but, coming in, extremely rough when they really didn't have to. But, actually in the long run, it worked, because what wound up happening was what he said anyway. Bob Gibson, the offensive coordinator, said he didn't want to kneel on the ball again, because if he knelt down on the ball, the Eagles come crashing in, and all of a sudden fisticuffs start happening. He said he didn't want. That's what he said. He said he didn't want the Giant players to get into fights. He didn't want them to get hurt. Didn't want them, I guess, to get fined and stuff like that. So instead of calling a kneel down where it might cause a fight or whatever, what he wound up doing was, let me just do a run play, right? So that way I'll get a run play, we'll run it, and we'll hand it off. Larry Zonka will get it, because Larry Zonka usually didn't fumble much, and the game will be over, instead of kneeling down. Because if we kneel down on it, they come crashing in, we might start pushing and shoving, guys might get hurt, we might get fined or whatever. So I don't want any of that, right? Mitchell, yeah, certainly could use a throat lozenge. Yeah, I could use something. Threw a chair in the owner's box and destroyed a wall at that point. Oh yeah. Pack. After you call that, pack your bags, brother. That's right. You're gone. You're gone, brother. But I think I read an article on that Bob, somebody actually got some of the stuff out of Bob, because he didn't talk about it. But they said that, because there was I think it was the play before that, Pisarcik knelt down on the ball, basically, the play's over, whatever, but the Eagles came crashing in, to try to knock the ball loose or whatever it was. So the offensive coordinator didn't want that. He said he didn't want that to happen. Didn't want them to, get into a fight or get fined or anything like that. So we won't kneel on the ball. We'll just hand the ball off. Sock will get it, run into the line, get tackled. Game's over. We win. Okay, let's all go home. But didn't happen. Didn't happen. But Beasley Reese said, nobody knows this. I never knew this. I'm telling you, it was a fist fight. I think I was probably the only one that wasn't fighting, because I was either scared or, dude, he said. There was some stuff that went on inside that locker room. The offensive coordinator got fired, Bob Gibson, the next day. I believe the head coach might have gotten fired at the end of the season. Yeah. He made it to the end of the year. And Andy Robustelli, the quote-unquote first general manager, he was the director of operations, but he was the quote-unquote first general manager, that's what they say, for the Giants. I saw where he stepped down. I also saw where he got fired, but whatever it was. Says there's about 60 guys that I know that go, oh my God. The Giants were 5-7 after the defeat and would finish the season 6-10. Giants head coach John McVay did not have his contract renewed, and director of football operations Andy Robustelli was let go. I also read or heard that he stepped down, so who knows? McVay was replaced by Ray Perkins, and McVay never coached ever again. And not only did he not coach ever again, but I said the guy Bob Gibson, the offensive coordinator, never coached anywhere ever again. But he said after the in the locker room, he said there was I never knew that. Never knew that. I mean, I'm obviously I know the defensive line didn't skip after the game was lost. The defensive team didn't just, for the Giants, just didn't skip into the locker room. Oh, okay, well, we lost. Oh, that's cool. Victories were tough back then. I think they said the Giants were 5-7 after that game, so they must have been 5-6. So they should have won that one. So they should have been at least 6-6. They still would have had a chance for the playoffs. And I'll tell you what, the defense a lot of times was the only reason why the Giants won many of the games that they won. It was never the offense. The offense very rarely put up any points. Usually it was if the Giants won a game or were in a game, was usually because of their defense. And the Giants were in this game because of their defense. They just picked off the Eagles had the ball. They had can't remember where it was at, around the 35-yard line or the 30-yard line of the Giants with 2 minutes to go, whatever it was, and they threw an interception. So the Giants were trying to preserve the sort of defense did its job. The defense and the Eagles were getting to become a very, very good team. 78 I think that was the year they played against the Falcons, but of course 1980 they wound up going to the Super Bowl. So the Eagles were becoming a good team. But the Giants were just so sick and tired of losing. I said the Giants they beat the Eagles. Obviously, I'm sorry. They beat the Eagles at home. I'm sorry. 1972, they beat the Eagles. That was a 62-10 game. But 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78. The Giants tied the Eagles in 73 with 74, 75, 76, 77 at home. And it was at home. They kept losing to the Eagles at home. It was unbelievable. They just couldn't beat the Eagles. But I mean, I never knew that. After that, they went into the locker room. Fisticuffs going on. But then again, that's the Giants for you. All right, guys. Well, hey, Mitchell H. I'm going to go get myself a throat lozenge. And Jersey guys. Well, we'll preview the game for tomorrow night. We'll have a preview for the game and a prediction. My prediction's not going to be good, but we'll have a prediction. So, guys, whoever's watching me live, thank you. If anybody spends any time watching a replay, just once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot to me. Thank you. As always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo! Oh, yeah.